Good morning. Today I'm here with John Green. I've known John for over 20 something years. I don't want to say too many years, and you might figure out my age. But anyhow, he has started out as a closing coordinator with my team. He moved into being a buyer's agent on the team. Then I heard him on the phone one day introducing himself to someone as the team sales manager. So we just kind of went with that. Then later we opened our own firm, and we decided that John was the smartest of us all and he should be the broker in charge. So he did that. And then he became a trainer for the team. And now we no longer have a team. We are Hines and Associates Realty, and he is our broker in charge and the trainer, the therapist. He's everything there. So good morning, John. How was that for an introduction?
You forgot I can change a flat tire pretty well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know because I've never had a flat tire. I've only run out of gas before in a Volkswagen. So, which was really embarrassing because my name was all over it, but that's okay. So, well, John, tell me really what I want. I want people to meet you, and this is kind of how they can meet you other than negotiating against you. Because I mean, I know when I negotiate against you, I don't like you because you're a great agent and you're very tough and really do work hard on behalf of your clients, and you make a lot of sense in the way you negotiate. So, that's why I don't like to negotiate against you because you're tough, you're good. So, but tell me what's the state of real estate right now? Like what's going on? How's it going for you and your buyer agents?
Well, it's a great time in real estate. I like change. I like things that move, and things are changing in real estate. Our market is becoming more balanced. I don't like to say normal. There's no such thing as a normal
Mhm.
market. It's becoming a little bit more balanced to where there's more availability for buyers. So a balanced market is truly whenever there's enough buyers that match the number of sellers. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer.
What do you think the biggest challenge about being a buyer's agent is in today's market?
I think now with the National Association of Realtors settlement, I think that's weighing on people's minds and how there's some process changes that we're all needing to make right now, and frankly, remembering to do those,
Mhm.
doing them effectively, doing them well, and
Mhm.
trying to help the public with them. A lot of people have given me feedback. It's like, why am I signing all this? Why do I have to do all of this? And it's like, oh, this is for your protection. And they're like, I don't really feel like I'm being protected more. And I'm like, well, sorry, we've got to do it anyway.
Okay. What makes a good buyer's agent in today's market?
I think what makes it in today's market is what it's made it in every market that I've seen, and that is a focus on on your client,
Mhm.
focus on them, not focusing on yourself, not having commission breath. I think
Okay.
is very important.
Okay. And for some people that are maybe new or aren't realtors watching, what is commission breath?
Well, that's whenever on your breath that your clients and the public and everyone knows you're out there to make a sale for yourself. You're out
Oh,
there to
okay.
make a sale for your car payment, for your issues, and not necessarily for the best interest of your clients.
Okay. So you do the training of buyer agents for Hines and Associates. What are some of the traits that when you sit down and you start training someone that you spot that they're going to be good or this is going to be rough?
Um, Flexibility. If I can if someone's receptive to doing new things, they're probably going to be more successful as an agent. If they're resistant to it, if they're like, oh, I did it this way and that kind of worked, and if someone else said to do try this, that's all good and well, and I want we don't want robots or anything
Right.
like that. But at the same time, too, if I'm suggesting to a newer agent to do something, it's not because it's an experiment. It's because it's tried and true. It's
Right.
because we know what we're doing, and we don't want them to have to reinvent the wheel to be successful.
Right. How long have you been practicing real estate now?
A little bit over 24 years.
Okay. And you've been in capacities of closing coordinator, buyer's agent, trainer, broker in charge. Um, and you even were going to be an instructor, but you decided not to do that, correct?
Well, I am a instructor with the Real Estate Commission, but um, frankly, the focus that I see with the commission is much more on technique than it is on practic- practical usage of
Okay.
training. And I like the hands-on, on the ground, realistic day-to-day usage of training as opposed to teaching folks theory. It comes back to this. I think people in real estate realize in pre-licensing, there's a whole lot that we learn, and then from
That we
that
don't use.
pre-licensing, very little that we use. And unfortunately, my perspective is that from what our North Carolina Real Estate Commission once taught, it's much more theory than it is practical
Mhm.
usage.
If I asked you for your most challenging transaction without naming names, does anything come to mind like that?
A few. There's a few that do come to mind and everything. And the
Okay.
challenge for me, and I try to challenge agents too, is that we remember the challenging ones, the difficult ones, and we forget about the easier ones because they
Okay.
were easy and they were not as impactful in our head as some of the challenging ones. So I have to challenge myself all the time to remember the fun ones, remember the
Well,
easy
what are
ones.
some of the things you've learned from um, challenging transactions? What are some things you've learned?
How patient I can actually be.
Okay.
Some of the things I've learned, again, one thing is testing limits. Uh, Remembering to come back to basics with people. With those challenging transactions, it's like it's very easy to try to keep pounding things in, try to keep, I'm just going to show them a property until they decide that they want to buy one. No, that's not it. Coming back in one very challenging transaction that comes to mind, or for buyers. Um, I remember on three separate occasions sitting down with those buyers and saying to them, should you really be buying a home at this time? Is this really what we should be
Wow,
doing? Because maybe you shouldn't.
that's a pretty powerful question because a lot of agents aren't going to ask somebody that because they really want them to buy something. So I
Well,
applaud you. I applaud you for that.
well, thank you, Heidi. And I, uh, it's I want folks to buy too, but at the same time, too, again, it's
There's a
not
fly, there's a bug that scared me. Sorry.
it's not about me. It's about the client.
Right.
And frankly, these good folks, they have a lot going on in their lives, which a lot of times people do whenever they're buying and selling. It's stressful. It's a lot of change for folks, and sometimes, rarely, it's not the thing to do.
Right. Well, I applaud you for asking people that. And I know that you find this business rewarding because that, what you just said, shows that you really care about people. And I know from working with you over the years that you are really patient. Um, you know, especially with the older. people. I mean, you took care of your mom, you were good to her, but I see you with clients that are older. You have a respect for that, and you seem to work with them quite well. But you work great with everybody. Everybody that works with you loves you. I think it's funny. You've been the realtor for every person in my family, not me, but you. So
Well,
that's funny. That's saying something.
Heidi, it comes back. It comes back to this: is understanding your clients and trying to service them the way they want to be serviced.
Right.
We talk about the golden rule, and that's treat others as I would want to be treated. Well, that's great, but there's a level above that. The platinum rule is treating others the way they want to be treated and
Hmm.
finding out what they want and what they expect. And sometimes, even with that, sometimes there can be a little bit of headbutting because
Hmm.
what someone expects out of the real estate transaction may not be reality.
Right.
And unfortunately, sometimes I have to bring them back to reality and set that level of expectation.
Right. But you
And I
do
think
set that level of expectation by doing a buyer presentation before you even get with somebody. So
that's right.
a lot of agents don't do that. People go along the transaction and they're like, well, I thought this or I thought that. Well, what did your agent tell you before you got going? Well, they didn't. Okay, well, there's the first problem. So, John, if
What
you could give a new agent a good piece of advice, and the reason I'm asking you that is because there's so many people, even right now with the state of the market, everything that's going on, there are a lot of people going to real estate school. What's the one piece of advice you could give to an agent coming out of real estate school as a buyer's agent?
one piece of advice? Um, the Stay focused on your clients. Stay focused on them. It's about them. It's their needs. It's not your needs.
Mhm.
Uh, so many people that I've talked to over the years wanting to get into real estate or having been in real estate and maybe not being successful. I think that people think it's about running around and showing houses, and it's not.
Or well, let me
I've
interrupt you. Not showing houses because I know when I interview agents, sometimes I ask them, "Why did you get into real estate?" And you know what they say? Because I love to look at houses. This has nothing to do with looking at houses.
no, if you have a job at a steakhouse, guess what you're going to get real tired of real quick.
State.
That exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And showing homes, that is the product. I can never see another home in my life, and that's perfectly fine. That's not the thing.
Hmm.
Homes are
Hmm.
homes are great. We all want to live indoors. That's fantastic. It's important that you're dealing with people's lives.
Right.
This is the biggest financial commitment that they'll make in their life. They're moving their family. They're moving and maybe downsizing or right sizing and not bringing things that were important in their life before. This is traumatic to people, and it's stressful. I shouldn't say traumatic, stressful,
Hmm.
stressful. But stress can be good and it can be bad. People can win the lottery and have a heart attack. Okay,
Hmm.
so I was watching The Price is Right last night, and people got awful excited getting up on stage and everything. But that's still stress to their
Right.
body. So we need to remember that as agents that this can be a hard, difficult time for people, and that's why we're there. That's why we're there. People can buy and sell homes without us. The point is they can't buy homes and sell homes as successfully as they can
Right.
without
Right.
us,
Sorry
is
that
with
fly
us.
that that a bee has gotten in my house and it keeps moving around and it's scaring me. I'm sorry. So okay, well, John,
Does he needs a house?
I know. I'm getting ready to give him one. So, well, I appreciate your time this morning and happy selling.
Thank you, Heidi.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.